Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back at you in another video, and welcome to part two of my plans for Black History on Mondays. I hope you enjoy it, and as ever, I'd love to read your comments and suggestions. Probably for the best, I can't think of much to say for the intro, so I'm going to crack on to points, ideas, thoughts, plans, or whatever you want to call them, number 11 to 20. So if you have any ideas or whatnot of your own or anything you want to comment, please feel free to comment. I'd love to know whether you think Black people around the world should unite together and support each other, like support each other's projects, businesses, banks, and all sorts of things like that. Whether you think that would be a cool thing or not. And yeah, so here goes. So number 11, I think that instead of joining militaries, which especially Western militaries like the American military, let's say, or even the British military or whatever, I suppose not just Black people, but I think people generally, and a lot of the ideas I include here could be applied to POC or BAME, as it's called in the UK, Black and minority ethnic, or just general minorities or people of colour, just generally, communities and whatnot. I don't think we should join militaries. I mean, some people might say it's not a good idea to join militaries generally anyway, and if less young people especially, or less people generally join militaries, there'll be less sort of cannon fodder for the wars. But I think those who are Black or people of colour generally, minorities or whatnot, generally, I would say instead of joining the military, I think it'd be cool if we worked together and united together more as POC, just generally even. I know I wanted to mainly focus on the Black community, but again, a lot of these ideas could be applied to Asian, mixed race, Native American, Latino, / Hispanic, or and possibly even Jewish communities, perhaps. Not too sure about the latter, but they could apply to such as white supremacists or neo-Nazis or far right, extreme right, or whatever you want to call them. Obviously, groups like the Klan, the NF, National Front, or the BNP, or others. And I suppose WASPs, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, sort of turned everyone else into the, I'm not saying all WASPs, but many of them turned everyone else into the enemy. So I think instead of joining militaries, an alternative could be the Association of Black Professionals. I think there are already things like that here in the UK, but they could be in America, like the Association of Black Professionals, if there aren't already. There could be sort of outreach programs that bring together, special outreach programs that bring together, like say people from first generation Africans, or basically people who have just came from Africa, from places like Nigeria or places like that, or Kenya, or even Cameroon or South Africa, or wherever else in Africa, and those who have been in America for a long time. And on that note, maybe more African Americans could trace their roots to see whereabouts in Africa they originate from, so they can have sort of more of an affinity or a connection to their home continent, to the motherland, on their behalf. My motherland is actually Asia, to be honest, as I would see it, and my fatherland is Europe, as I would see it, because my dad's of European descent and my mum's of Asian descent. But I would say, I think instead of the ones who are in the military, I think if they can, should leave and instead join the police and the legal profession, and they could work on making security better at home for everyone, including WASPs or whatnot. But instead, as I say, I think alternatives to join the military. So I think those who are in should leave, in my opinion. But again, these are my own personal opinions, as controversial as they might be. And those who are thinking of joining, I think instead should join like the police, the legal service, become judges, solicitors, lawyers, legal professionals, networkers, business people, social media content creators, and whatever other careers. I think they should do that instead, and that would mean that they could work to make sure everyone gets equal access to rights, not any group getting better rights than any others. But I'd love to know what you think about each of these points. I know I covered that in quite a lot of detail, but I'd love to know what you think. Should those who are in the military, or even those who think of joining the military, or those who might in the future think of joining the military, should they instead join the police? Things like, because even if they do say, I think it's good to contribute, it's good to be part of a community, it's good to try and get on well with everyone, whether they're white, black, or other, and integrate with other groups and learn about other communities or whatever. Even if they say that sort of thing, and it's good to keep America safe or wherever. Same with black British people, say, for instance, in Britain or in Europe or whatever, they might say we still want to keep people safe from terrorism, but they could still work for like spy agencies or whatever, but and that kind of thing, but just not go on the front line. Moving on, anyway. Maybe I'll cover that in more detail. I think I could pretty much covered everything I could on that one. But if you have any questions or any thoughts on that, please, please do let me know in the comments, and let's get involved in a discussion with each other as well, so we can get involved with discussing with each other and thinking about these sort of things and what are the most ethical and just things to do, perhaps. Number 12, mentors, role models, inspirational stories like the New Black Elite. I was thinking of things like black nobility and mobility, and the new black middle class and upper class, and even how to get more people. I know I talked a bit about this in part one, like how to get more black people into business and even becoming millionaires and billionaires, perhaps, and believing they can at least, and being economically, financially empowered, basically, and that kind of thing. So that they can make better decisions and be more freer generally. And I think it'd be cool to see more black mentors, role models, and people networking and supporting each other. Again, maybe they can work together in business, support each other's banks and businesses, and look at how they can connect and treat each other with respect and like basically just unite. Number 13, what are some issues and negatives about the black community, and what do you think should be changed? I suppose it'd be interesting to, I know I often want to ask questions like that, make other people as well as myself think about these sorts of issues, but what do you think are some of the negative situations and challenges facing black Americans today, or black people around the world, especially in America today, including division perhaps, and problems with like new migrants, or again disunity, disagreements with other communities and things like that. And for me, a negative thing is like people of color joining the military, as I say, because to me, historically, those militaries like the American and British and other European militaries sort of stood for imperialistic attitudes, and like a lot of their symbols, regalia or whatever you call it, even their accolades and things like that are about imperialism and colonizing other countries. And I know people might say that's history, and also, to be fair, the government, certainly here in Britain, I'm sure in America, makes like, at least legally, makes sort of discrimination illegal and bans far right or extremist groups or whatever you want to call them. But I still think, rather than fighting other people of color, mainly overseas, and like potentially getting risk of injuries and not being able to support their communities, I think it'd be better to see more black police, like the Association of Black Police, and lawyers, solicitors, judges, that kind of thing. But again, you please feel free to disagree, and I'm happy to read alternative viewpoints and that kind of thing. But I think it's good to put the ideas out there. Number 14, what are the solutions to the issues facing the black community? Like maybe low self-esteem. That's another issue that could perhaps be something. As I mentioned recently, like I think only yesterday I mentioned it, but knowing that the problems and the issues, I think addressing those sorts of issues could be something that could help to sort of think about the solutions to the problems, like I say, low self-esteem, issues with drugs, alcohol, crime, criminality, or whatever other issues the black community faces in America or wherever. I think it'd be cool to sort of address those issues and tackle them, find solutions to problems, and maybe again networking together. I think would be a cool way to solve problems. I think that'd be pretty cool for Black History Month. Number 15, I would love to read about and hear about black ambition and how to help black people to achieve their goals. Number 16, and also sharing and listening to and reading ideas, and again making people think about ideas on what are the best ways to empower the black community in America. And again, maybe in all around the world, like how they can network together, build businesses together, and that kind of thing. And with the internet, I think it's easier to be global and to work globally rather than just locally or even just nationally. But again, maybe I'm being naive, and please let me know what you think. Number 17, I'd say it would be cool to hear about like the new black elite, new black middle class and upper class communities, and again how they can thrive and do even better and help others to join them and encourage other members of the Black community. Number 18, motivational stories, motivational speakers, success stories like movie directors, producers, actors, actresses, and that kind of thing, and how the Black community can help each other to invest and to help their money work for them rather than just working for their money, learning to become investors and things like that. I think that'd be pretty cool, a pretty cool way to help more Black people to make more money and things like that. Number 19, I'm sort of running out of ideas, but I hope that other people will share what ideas you can think of. But it'd be cool to support and celebrate stories of like Black mathematicians, entrepreneurs, business people, whatever the difference is, CEOs, MDs, managing directors, chairmen, chairwomen, females in business, and how they can be supported financially, like how they can get more investments and things like that, and how to help more younger people. I think that was point number 20. But yeah, it'd be cool to support more young people and look at what the older generations can do to encourage younger people to believe in themselves, maybe share their experiences and mistakes to avoid, and like Black people who have run businesses or even run businesses now, like Damon John. I suppose they already do, but have like Black Entrepreneurs Day and things like that. But again, maybe they could teach people to invest and help people to invest on their behalf and things like that. So yeah, I think that covers everything for now. And as I say, I would love to read your comments. Even if you disagree with me, that's fine. I hope people won't be too hateful or rude in the comments, but probably waffled enough. So peace and love. I'm out.